Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And joining me today is a 6'1" point guard coming from a powerhouse JUCO in Florida Southwestern that is going to be at the Division I level once again next year with the Massachusetts Minutemen heading off to UMass in a fantastic conference. A lights out shooter, one of the best in the country, KJ Parker. What's going on, man?
What's going on? Thank you for having me.
Hey, absolutely. You're always welcome on the podcast, man, especially with the range that you got. Whenever I get a chance to show off your highlights from three, definitely got to take the opportunity to do so. And you were absolutely dominant this past season for an FSW team that had another great year, like they always do. And you were at the helm, you were one of the main scorers for this team. And I want fans, viewers that are watching to really get to know you, to understand your career a little bit more in a segment that I like to call Rewind and Recap. Just going to rewind the clock back to where you started your career, which is Florida A&M, playing at the Division I level in, I believe, the SWAC conference for that freshman campaign. Put up some numbers against some Power 5 teams and ended up entering the portal, made your way to the JUCO ranks to improve your skill set with FSW. And this year alone, first team all conference selection, as well as FCSAA All-State selection as one of the top players in the entire state of Florida in all of the very talented JUCOs in this conference, and now signed with the University of Massachusetts over a bunch of other Division I programs that had offered you. So this was absolutely a breakout year for you. I know you put up some solid numbers with Florida A&M your freshman year, where you even scored double figures against Power 5 teams and with 18 points against Oregon, 13 against Nebraska, 12 against Creighton. All of these are, NCAA tournament teams that are able to always make a run every single year. How would you say that your experience from the Division I level, putting up these points against these Power 5 teams, helped translate this past year with FSW's system?
I mean, as far as, just being a Division I player coming down to JUCO, I can say like just having that confidence, knowing that knowing that I came and played against like top ranked programs in the country who's playing night in, night out on TV. So, I mean, just having that confidence and know like I've been here before, I played against the top teams, top coaches, top players, and it's just like of course, it's JUCO. I mean, it's probably like the bottom, but no one knows like it's a lot of dogs in JUCO. So, I mean, just playing against a lot of great point guards, going against Oregon and Creighton, like you had said. I mean, just the confidence to know like a lot of these guys haven't had this experience to play against these people and put up the numbers that I put up. So, just having that confidence and finding myself again, I mean, it kind of helps. So,
Yeah, I got to point out there is an Oregon jersey behind me. You ended up scoring on that guy who's also an FSW alumni, Jadrian Tree.
yeah.
Shout out to him. But got to put him on the spot there because you did put up 18 against their team and obviously made your way to FSW, did what you did in the state of Florida. For a team where they underwent a coaching change this year. I mean, Coach Wallace is his first year at the head coaching ranks. I've been around this program for close to a decade now. I believe 6 or 7 years it's been for me, where I've seen a lot of people come and go from this program. But this was probably the biggest turnover year yet, where you were one of, uh, actually, there were only three returners now that I think about it. Only one that saw the court last year in Ahmed Sumahoro. Two guys that redshirted, and then the rest of them were newcomers, including yourself. What was it like this past season in Coach Wallace's first year as a head coach for FSW, where he was trying to get all of these new faces to come together and get that chemistry early on?
I mean, this is his first time being the head coach here. So I mean, just as far as him trying to find things and trying to figure out what's best for the team. Adversity hit and just going through things. I feel like he did as best as he could for it to be his first year. I know we came up short, but I mean, as far as just trying to get everyone to buy in and to keep competing, to know like, man, I felt like we was the best team. Honestly, I feel like we still are the best team in the country if we can turn things around and do it again. But just trying to find things that work best for the team, not just for individuals. I feel like he did his best. I feel like next year will probably be way different. You will see the FSW way. I feel like we definitely tried to show as best as we could this year, but just for it being his first time, things happen. But I feel like next year he'll have it back to where it need to be. So
Oh, I'm very familiar with the FSWA. Coach Rolf and
yeah,
I, about 3 or 4 years ago, we were the ones that came up with that, with the graphic that I'm sure you guys and a lot of players in that program have seen. I'm the one
yeah.
that made that graphic. Credit to Coach Murph and Coach Lack. They came up with the FSWA saying, and it has caught on ever since. A lot of Division
Mhm.
One products out of this program, including yourself. And you got to see your role grow throughout this past season to where you ended up becoming the number one scoring option for this team. You averaged 16.8 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 43.3% from beyond the arc. That tied for the best 3 point percentage in FSW history. You broke the single season record for 3 pointers made with 91 in a season. And you also ranked third in FSW history in single season points. So the scoring front was no problem for KJ Parker. You were able to score whenever you needed to, whenever you wanted to. How would you say you were able to grow this past season with your role to where you eventually became established as that number one scoring option?
Just staying present, staying in the moment, not thinking about recruitment. I feel like a lot of JUCO players come in and especially if you're a Division One drop down, just trying to come in and get back to that level. I sat down with Coach Wallace and he just had me stay leveled and told me just to stay present and let everything take care of itself. Be in the gym every night. Just remember where I came from and remember my why. Feel like that really helped me. I feel like basketball gonna take care of itself once you actually put in the work and things like that. So pretty much not overthinking, just being myself and letting everything just flow. So pretty much it's a mental state for me. So yeah.
There you go, man. And that's why you're able to put up some big time highlights this past season for this FSW team. And I want to talk about some of them in a quick segment that I like to call Make That Play. In this segment, I got my top three plays right here. I went through Synergy, looked through every single made basket you had. So obviously, I was there for quite a while with all the shots that you made this past season. But I do have what I feel like are your top three plays from this past season. But obviously, I'm just the fan in the stands. I'm just the guy that does stats. You're the guy on the court doing what you do best. So what would you say was your top play from this past season?
My top play. Man, uh, probably be hard. I won't say play. I can say as far as me having I feel like one of my best games was when Miami-Dade came to us. When they came to us, I feel like I pretty much showed how my leadership as far as scoring, facilitating, rebounding, like communication. I feel like that was probably my best game. I felt so comfortable and just I felt like a real point guard. So I can say that game. I can't really give you a play off the back right now.
Oh, I can give you some plays. I'll go on ahead and give you my top three real quick. And number one, going against Hillsborough, shot clock is winding down. You get a handoff from one of your teammates and then get double teamed right afterwards. And you got to get the shot up. Deep three, Steph Curry range three that you drain nothing but net with two defenders right in your face. So that one I had to put at number one. Number two, you ended up going down the baseline with another double team that came after you because they knew you were the top scorer. Once again, beat the shot clock against St. Petersburg with a nice pull-up jumper right on the baseline to help keep your team doing what they did best. And number three, going against Ranger early on in the season. Hit a nice little pump fake to get the defender airborne where they went flying off the double team. And you ended up driving right down the lane and made a contested layup through once again another double team with two help defenders crashing in on you. Nice little up and under move for you where you ended up getting a nice score for your team. So those are my top three plays for Make That Play. And it just seemed like your style and FSW's style of play just blended really quick early on, where you were able to just make such an immediate impact in this uh, program right away. Like I mentioned before, third most single season points in FSW history. So obviously there was that continuity there. Talk to me real quick about how you were able to really blend in with this system, with the style of play that they had, to where you were so effective from beyond the arc.
I mean, I was always told if you can shoot the ball, you can play anywhere. I feel like that fits into any system. Coach Wallace allowed me to come in and just be myself. He allowed me, I mean, as far as in practice, he wanted me to push the ball and things like that and get in better shape, but he allowed me to play at my pace and bring the guys along with me. So, I mean, as far as that, I just want to thank them and the team for allowing me to just play within my pace, allow me to just be myself. I mean, stay in at before and after practice just to shoot, stay consistent. So I mean, if anyone can, I feel like if anyone can shoot the ball, then it can fit into playing that FSW.
Yeah, and obviously you did that very well. 91 threes on the season. Ended up tying the single game record also with 8 threes against Santa Fe. Had 28 points in that game with 8 made threes. Had 27 points with another 5 3-pointers made against Gulf Coast State. And then 14 points and 10 assists versus Santa Fe in the other matchup you guys had. So you were able to put numbers across the board, and that's why programs were recruiting you left and right. I know Cal State Fullerton, Northern Illinois, New Orleans, as well as some others were recruiting you throughout the season. UMass obviously being the choice that you made to continue your career. But what was that like for you? Obviously putting up the numbers you were trying to lead your team, hopefully to a national tournament, and obviously make a run in the state tournament. What was that like for you trying to balance everything at once?
Um, it was definitely an experience. Once it got towards going in towards states, a lot of schools was at me and trying to get me on visits and stuff like that. But I just felt like it wasn't best for me to do that yet. Not just because of I want to see what else I can get, but just because of how focused I was on the team and wanting to just win. I kind of had to communicate with those coaches and tell them, I mean, as soon as we get done, or hopefully, we make it to Hutch, then we can start with the process and taking visits and stuff like that. But it was hard to balance. I my stock was rising high, and I had a lot of schools calling and trying to get visits and stuff. So I mean, I kind of had help between the coaches and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and you did end up taking a couple of visits. I know you went obviously on the visit to UMass, Cal
yeah.
State Fullerton, and Northern Illinois. I believe those three were your top three, something like that. Uh, what was it about UMass that stood out to you to where you said, okay, I want to come be a part of this program. I want to help lead this program to a conference championship next year. What was it that made you decide to become a Minuteman?
That culture. I feel like they had a culture of, like Julius Irvin played there. They had a lot of players who played there. Frank Martin coached there, who's a Florida legend. I just feel like they have that culture that I want to bring back, that culture that I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of something exciting. I feel like a lot of schools that were recruiting me, they had a good foundation of that, but it's nothing like UMass basketball. How it was back then. I just want to be a part of something that's very exciting, that's a lot of people look forward to. And, Coach Martin, me and him talked for the first time and just communicating back and forth. It just felt like I knew him for a long time. And he's a hard coach. He gets on you and things like that. So I feel like him doing that is upon me, I feel like kind of helped me compete at another level, help me just be better. I don't want to just play for someone who just loves my scoring. I feel like that's good, but at the end of the day, someone who's gonna help me compete and help me become a better player and connections and things like that. So I know he means well. So yeah.
There you go, man. Definitely can't wait to see what you do at the Division 1 level once again this upcoming season. And guys like yourself, coming out of the junior college ranks. Obviously, you previously were a Division 1 player before, but someone that people don't know your name enough. You need to. That's why I have you on this podcast right now. That's why I have some of your teammates are going to be on this podcast as well this season because I want to get your guys' names out there because I know you are some dogs. You have that fire in you to where you can compete and help teams win at the next level. And that's why I came up with this segment that I like to call Who's Up Next, where you can actually give me some names to reach out to some other people that have that same fire that you do, where I
Mm.
can have them on the podcast and get their names out there as well, whether it's teammates from FSW, former teammates from Florida A&M, future teammates from UMass, even wherever you feel like they're from where they should get their story out there. Two rules though. First of which, whoever you recommend, got to help me get them on, got to help me reach out. And
Okay.
number two, you do have to give me at least one name where they were not with FSW this past season.
Okay. For one, I can give you two. I can give you two that's not with FSW. My first one, George Kimball, played at Eastern Kentucky with Evans. That played here, played guard there, and he can go, man. That's like my brother, so I think you should reach out to him. Another one is Ant Robinson, play at Missouri. I feel like a lot of people know him, but a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know where he get his mentality from. I feel like he's someone who shows a lot of emotion while he when he plays. So I feel like, I mean, just hearing that story from him will help a lot of guys. And somebody else that's in the program, if I could, I would say my whole team, but one person I say Ahmed. He works, man. He honestly works, and just trying to find a spot right now. But that's someone who has a story to tell, and yeah, I mean he's different because he's a Muslim and stuff like that. So I feel like y'all should hear what he has to say as well. So yeah,
Oh, I already told Ahmed the moment he signs, the moment he's going D1 or wherever he goes for a 4 year school, he has a spot on the Slim Sports podcast. And Evans
yeah,
actually recommended George Kimball as well. So I definitely need to get him on. He was incredible for Eastern Kentucky this past season.
that's my boy,
And I
man. He
mean,
can go.
all three of those names that you mentioned, definitely going to be reaching out, definitely going to look to have them on the podcast for sure. And that right there, great segment of who's up next. Now we got to talk about what's next for yourself, for KJ Parker, obviously heading off to UMass going into next season. What are you really doing this offseason to enhance your game to an even higher level to where you can go off, be a top level scorer for UMass and lead them back to March Madness?
Um, Really just defining my body, getting in crazy shape. My main goal is to, before I get to school, just to be in top-notch shape. I heard a saying from LeBron that basically it's hard to get in game shape in the off season, but I just want to be in as best shape I could as possible before I go out there. Um, and then as far as the training, when I do get out there, just be lean, more athleticism, stuff like that. But I feel like basketball, as far as me shooting and everything like that, take care of itself because stay on top of that. But just really just focusing on my body and toning and becoming a different person physically. I want people just to see the difference, So really just my body.
Definitely can't wait to see what you do for UMass this upcoming season. And if I know one thing's for sure, I know it's going to be raining threes from KJ Parker going to the 25-26 season, man. So beyond blessed to have you on this podcast. You know you always got a spot with the Slim Sports family, man. And thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this interview.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.